Greetings, degenerates. Today we are going to talk about a subject that has been done to death on YouTube. But instead of listing off the classic types of players, we're going to look at the traits that define them and how they interact with each other. I have been a DM for 5 years now, hosting an average of 2 games per week, and have had over 60 different players attend my sessions. Let me tell you, I've experienced some shit that is worthy of D&D horror stories, but that's besides the scope of this video. Let's get into it then. Imagine these traits as scales from 1 to 10. Acting. This one is simple. A 1 is someone who never talks in character, and a 10 represents the entire cast of Critical Role. Players high on this scale will enjoy character growth and situations where moral choices are involved. Experience. How long has the player been playing, and in how many campaigns with how many different people? This trait relates to understanding the rules of D&D, as well as the social aspects of D&D. Madness. An interesting trait to be sure. A 10 represents the maniac who shoves the glowing cave mushroom down his throat instantly, or pisses off the head of a church just to see what would happen. New players often attempt these feats, just to see how far they can go before consequences arise. A 1 is a player who won't even try equipping interesting magical items out of fear they might be cursed. Trust me, they exist. Murderhoboness. A classic trait that people often bring over from video games, killing and looting everything as they go. In this case, I'll have it relate to how often a player chooses combat as a solution to problems as well. A 1 will try to avoid combat as often as possible to a cowardly extent, while a 10 will kill the shopkeeper and steal his trousers. A middle score is preferred to this trait. Mechanical inclination. Another easy one. A 10 is a min-maxer or power gamer as they are often called, and a 1 is someone who doesn't care at all about the mechanical aspects of play and will probably take a long time learning the rules as a result. Activity. For high scores, this can manifest outside of the game by talking too much, without the need to do so, or inside the game by trying to hog the spotlight continuously from other players. A 1 is a player that doesn't interact very much. Humor. A great trait to have when combined with acting, as most of the humor will come from in-game situations. The extreme of this trait will often play joke characters, or crack so many jokes that they become disruptive to normal play. I have never met a D&D player who I can confidently say was a 3 or below on this scale. Agreeableness. This one is more complicated as it relates to the personality of the player. Generally, I enjoy people who are both low and high on the scale, but having a party full of disagreeable people is a disaster waiting to happen. Tossing in a single agreeable player won't help the situation either. It will just make that person miserable. Reliability. How often can a player make it to sessions? Does the player tell you in advance if he can make it? Is the player late often? These all determine how reliable a player is. A player has scores in all of these traits, and I wouldn't be too quick in assigning scores unless I played at least 5 sessions with them. Thank you for watching. Do you think I missed anything? Let me know in the comments and please subscribe.